Hey everyone, welcome to this episode of episode one. As I continue my journey going through countless shows across all streaming platforms, watching the first episode and then telling you what I think of that show. It has been a journey so far, and I am really excited to get to view so many different shows out there. Today, I am going to be featuring a show that was suggested to me by my friend Savage, who I know from our streaming days on Twitch. And she sent me this idea. It was on my list, thank goodness. And I'm excited to go ahead and present to you this particular review. We're going to go to Netflix. I believe it's the first time we're doing a show on Netflix. Here on episode one, I could be wrong. I think I'm right. But anyway, regardless, we're going to be looking at a show called The Last Kingdom. Again, you can find it on Netflix, and it was premiered in 2019, and I believe it was 4 or 5 seasons, and then a movie to conclude the series. And so the entirety of The Last Kingdom is out and available. And of course, it's taking me this long to get to it. And so I'm looking forward to chatting about it here on episode one for just a bit. It is a historical drama that is very much in the vein of another show that I really enjoyed called Vikings. The show itself is created by a guy by the name of Stephen Butchard, and he adapted the show itself from a series of novels that were called the Saxon stories. These novels were written by Bernard Cornwell, and the series of novels is covered across all of the seasons of The Last Kingdom. And to correct myself, the show premiered in 2015, October of 2015. And that's when The Last Kingdom first appeared. And I believe it was a BBC show, unless I'm mistaken, when it first premiered. But now you can find all of the seasons on Netflix. In episode one of the show, we meet a guy by the name of Earl Ragnar, who is seen by the son of an earl. The son of a lord, an English lord, in the location is called Northumbria. So we're in the area of the world that eventually becomes England, and as the first episode opens, the young boy who eventually becomes Uhtred, the main character of the entire series, sees dragon ships on the horizon as they approach. And this Danish Earl Ragnar is coming to Northumbria to join up with other Vikings, Danes, as they're called in the show, to attack and conquer the area of Northumbria, Efferwich, and other places in that area, Bebbanburg being the location of the town and castle that you actually see there in the image. And that's the area that we're in as the show opens. There is a battle in which Uhtred's father, who is Uhtred himself, engages Ragnar and his army. And within the first few minutes, and he's brilliantly played by Matthew Macfadyen, who you may know from Succession and quite a few other films and shows. I was really excited to see him actually in the show, and then within the first 10 minutes, he was dead. And that's kind of the case with this first episode. There's quite a few folks who are fantastic characters. Matthew Macfadyen, of course, as I said, Rutger Hauer is in as a Viking lord. Peter Gantzler is Ragnar, who is seemingly the main character of this first episode. And I'm not spoiling anything by saying that by the end of the episode, all three of the characters that are played by those actors are dead. The show itself stars Alexander Dreymon as Uhtred and Emily Cox as Britta, who are both captured by the invading Danes and are adopted into their family. And so that's the premise of the first episode, is that as time goes on, the Danes have taken over that portion of Northumbria and have established their cities and villages and stuff and such. And the boy Uhtred is now he's a slave, but he's also part of the community, and he's treated very well by Ragnar and his family. As the episode continues, we have some occurrences between the Danes, particularly a situation in which Sven, the son of one of Ragnar's men, basically assaults his Ragnar's daughter Thera, and the moment unfolds, and as a result, Uhtred is placed into a position where he defends her and fights off Sven. And once it's discovered that Sven was the person who initiated the assault on Thera, Sven is blinded by Ragnar in retaliation for how his daughter was treated. Kjartan, his father, Sven's father, is banished, and that sets up an occurrence later in the episode in which Kjartan, years later, after Uhtred is now an older member of the community and being treated like a son by Ragnar, Kjartan finally comes with his son, who's older as well, and attacks Ragnar's settlement and burns everyone within the hall. They were celebrating the wedding of Ragnar's daughter, Thera, who in turn, by the end of the episode, is in captivity with Kjartan and his son Sven. And basically the entirety of Ragnar's family and community have been killed, leaving Uhtred and Britta alone and trying to figure out what their next steps are going to be. A lot happens in this first episode. The episode ends with Uhtred taking on a measure of revenge against one of the men who attacked the village, and then it basically returns to his home castle, now a member of the Dane community, and creating a situation in which he is now going to go against his uncle, who took over after Uhtred's father was killed. And you find out through the episode that the uncle was behind all of the machinations of having Uhtred's father killed by the Danes and not supporting him in that fight in the early part of the episode. So a lot happens within the episode itself. It really is a situation where this first episode is just about laying out the details of the story, introducing you to who Uhtred is as a boy, and eventually you see that he has grown up in the Dane community, what we would call the Viking community, and so he never felt loved by his original father, and so now we see him ready to take on the role of Ragnar's son, as he was adopted into Ragnar's family, and to avenge Ragnar's death. That is seemingly the goal that Uhtred has in mind. The pros of this show, Vikings for me are always a great hook for a show. I think of the show Vikings that I really, really enjoyed, and I'm actually going through a second time. And this show very much reminds me of that. It has a little bit more of a historical bent based on what I've written, what I've read so far, in terms of the characters. But again, the show is based on several historical fiction novels, and so I'm not familiar enough with them to know, okay, how close to the history of the area are we really experiencing. The beautiful cinematography of this first episode is absolutely wonderful, and the plot is very captivating. It just really draws you in, and it manages a large cast of important characters really, really well. So much so that you hate to see so many great characters within this first episode end up dead by the end of episode 1. So I really don't have anything negative to say about the show. I would absolutely continue this series and look forward to it at some point. That's the thing with this show that I'm doing, is that I've seen now a few series that I'm like, man, I really want to work on completing that show. So I have a lot to watch over the next several years, I think. But yeah, so you can find The Last Kingdom on Netflix, and I got to tell you, it's one to check out. I really enjoyed um, the overall premise of the show and the way in which it played out. And I really hope that you'll check it out. If you have watched The Last Kingdom, I really welcome you to put some comments here on this video and let me know what your thoughts were on the series. And if this episode encourages you to watch The Last Kingdom, then I hope you'll comment as well. I thank you so much for joining me for this latest episode of episode 1. Don't forget, you can click the subscribe button and that notification bell so you can be informed when new episodes land. And just like me, enjoy some new shows that maybe you thought about watching. And I hope that I've helped in helping you make a decision. So overall, I just want to say thanks once again for supporting the show and for stopping by. I look forward to the next one. And don't forget, you're awesome. You're amazing. And the world's a better place because you are in it. We'll see you next time on episode 1.